So now basically what I do is I just cut it or scrape it all into a bucket. There's no foundation here. So I just cut the whole big comb right into the bucket. And there we have it, and that's ready to go back into a hive. So I got 3 buckets of crushed comb out of that hive today. They're not all completely full, but they're pretty close. And so what I used to do is I would laboriously crush all that down, and I had a big dowel that I would crush it with, and a potato masher, and get it all crushed up, and then I would pour it into this bucket that I had made all these holes in, and I put the nylon paint strainer in, and I would put all that in here, and it would drain down into the triple. Put this on, this is just a lid cut out that would set on there so that could set on, and then I had the triple filter and then down into the bucket. And you know, that worked really good. But it was a lot of strong arming for a while, trying to mash that down. And then, you know, it always took forever for this to run down through. And then I'd take that strainer and try to squeeze it and stuff. And, you know, it worked okay. But then I realized that I could do something different. And so what I do now is I take the bucket, I put it into this canning pan, and the canning pan has the canning thing in it, and I just put that in empty, and I take one of these buckets and I just plop it in there. And I wait until all of it melts. So all of the wax, all of the comb, all of the honey, it all melts in that bucket. And as long as that bucket is elevated, you know, so that it's not touching, this, it won't burn. Sometimes I'll put a towel around the edge here so that it doesn't boil over. But I just, you know, it takes a while for it to melt in this double boiler system, and then I let it cool, and it separates. And once this bucket, it's going to take it a while, and then I'll let it cool overnight, and in the morning I'll video what I do then. So last night, these were buckets of crushed or cut comb, and I put them on that double boiler that you saw, and then it's cooled all night, and this is what we get. So that is and this one didn't, this was the last one that I did, so it didn't get completely melted out, but there's the honey that's separated out from the rest. So then what I'll do is I'll just take this and I'll put these in here. And then this can be poured right into the triple filter. And there you have it. A really simple way to do crush and strain. After that's melted off, or after that all that comb is melted, it separates out when it cools, and you get the honey underneath, and you get the wax and the slum gum and the rest of the stuff on top. Now this, actually, I'll probably strain this out a little better, and this I might remelt again because it doesn't look like it got completely melted out. Normally it separates out better, but you can see there's a little bit of pollen there, and then there's some slum gum, and then there's matte wax, and then ultimately this will go into my solar wax melter in the backyard. Alright, so then once that's all filtered through, it yields that honey. Yum! And it's about half full. And so we started with, the bucket. The original bucket was almost full of comb, but of course there's a lot of, it's big chunks of comb, so there's a lot of air space in there. And then of course I've got what will be wax in the wax melter as well.